Okay, here comes the music and the starter and the deal. In three, let's see. Oh, hold on. Okay, that's right. 3, 2, 1.
He went to college for 8 years and had to study dozens of subjects, not just dental ones, but physiology and anatomy and bacteriology. Of course, I didn't know that then. All I knew was that going to Dr. Brand's was better than the movies.
Does she have to do this every morning, Barbara?
The morning stream, 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 the morning stream.
They are all that is man. This is the Morning Stream.
The morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It's the morning stream for 420, man.
420.
420. Blaze up, or whatever they say. What do they say? Do they say blaze up?
Blaze up, sure, yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what John Bender said in The Breakfast Club, which it's factually accurate drug terminology. For sure.
Good. And it's carried over all these few decades later. It's still relevant.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm in then.
For sure.
I'm in. I'm locked in. Brian is, of course, in a state where he can freely do that. I am not. So I will not be blazing up today.
Yeah, and I won't be blazing up either.
Yeah, you're not really a blazing type.
It's weird because this is going to be the first year since legalization that they haven't had a massive throng of people take over Civic Center Park. And
is that a thing they do on 420?
It's a thing, yeah. Basically, Civic Center Park is the park that's between the Capitol building and the city and county building. It's this big, beautiful park, and they take it over on 420 and just turn it into a green cloud of people.
Well, maybe they could do that grid thing where people, mark out the 6 feet, 10 feet apart thing and just
Sure.
smoke in a grid.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the
Grid
green
smoking.
cloud will hovering over downtown.
No, you
Right by
get
the protesters complaining that their freedom.
I was going to say, Colorado's got the most famous image of the pandemic going around now with that lady in her car and that nurse standing in the road.
Yeah,
That's some hardcore visualization there going on.
we've come a long way since throwing our tea into the Boston Harbor to protest taxes to saying, no, I don't want to stay home and keep other people from getting sick.
Yeah.
It's my rights as an American.
That lady in that car, if her name's not Karen, I'll eat my hat.
Karen, get back in the car.
Get back in the car, Karen. Anyway, so there's that. Good times. Hey, I had a couple things happen yesterday that I have to share
Yes.
because if I didn't, I'd be delinquent in my duties on TMS. My job here is to tell stories like this. So
Sure.
we're at the dog park Sunday. That's about the only time we ever, are in any sort
Leave
of
the house.
mingling distance of people.
Yeah.
And they're probably, everybody keeps their distance, but they're all very friendly. It's all like, oh, hey, what's the breed of that dog? Oh, he's a mix of a bubba dubba dubba. And oh, that's so cool. What pretty eyes that dog had. Like, it's a nice reminder that you can have human interactions and not have everybody staring at the floor and wearing their mask and hurrying by. It's it's a pretty chill situation. Anyway, we like it over there. And as we're leaving, Kim says, oh my gosh, you have to pull that out. And I said, what? I have to do what? She goes, you have to pull that out right now. I can't look at it anymore. That's so gross. I can't have her in my car. And I'm like, what? One of the dogs? What's the matter? And she goes, something is hanging out of Boomer's butt, and it has to come out. And I said, oh, well, all right, let me take a look. So I look around on Boomer. I look at Boomer's hind end, and she has about a half an inch of something hanging out the back of her butthole. Just like a little, don't know what it is. It's not a poop or anything. It's just like a thin something. We don't know what it is, like a string or we don't know. So she gets a wipe out of the car and she says, just pinch it and grab it. I'm like, all right, I guess this is my job now. This is what I do. I do this.
This is what it's come to.
Yeah. So I take it and I get back there and I kind of hold her tail and she's squirming because she doesn't want me back there. And I pinch and grab this thing and I thought it'd just go boop and be done, whatever it was. No, I pull and it comes out to be about this long. She ate like a string. And it was just now making its way to the surface. She ate like a string. I don't know where she got it, where the string came from, but she ate a string, digested the string, and then was excreting the string.
Oh my God.
And I pulled the string out. Pulled it all the way out.
Yeah. I was expecting the string to go back in her, and she goes, the cow goes moo.
That'd be amazing. I love you, it would say. But it was like it wasn't like a shoelace thickness. It was like a thin string, like
bigger
almost
than a thread, like a twine kind of thickness.
Yeah, closer to that. Closer, definitely thicker than a thread. And the dog just sort of made a face as I yanked it out of there. But I started to worry, like, oh no, is this attached to something? Am I gonna mess her up?
Is there a yo-yo at the other end of this thing?
Yeah. Like, what's this gonna be? And instead, it just came out. She never whimpered or whined. It was fine.
Oh,
tossed in the bushes and, got rid of put the wipe in the can over there on the side of the road, the trash thing, and then got in the car and went home. But you don't want that. You don't want a string in your dog's butt ever.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It feels, somebody in the chat room was saying, well, you basically got to cut the string off and not pull it out because it can mess up their intestines.
Mm-hmm.
And I could kind of see if you do it fast, definitely don't want to do it fast. Like, yoink.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
That
That'd
could totally
be
mess
bad.
things up.
Yeah.
If you're taking it slow, I could see that's probably better. I don't know.
I mean, there was no resistance on it. It was just like pull lightly. I lightly grabbed it, went wee. It came out like butter. It was just nothing.
Hey.
So we took it slow, Zoe. That's right. Anyway, so the dog's fine, and I don't know what she ate, but we got to keep her away from string, I guess. And Rainer never does this. Rainer never eats anything weird. She always she doesn't chew stuff. She doesn't eat anything that isn't her food. She likes human food. If someone's going to toss her a piece of steak, she'll eat it, but she doesn't really care to do any of that. Boomer, on the other hand, has all the stereotypes. She's digging a hole. She'll bury a bone. She'll eat a thing she shouldn't. She'll bloat herself on grass. Like, she does all that dog stuff that dogs do, and it's starting to drive me slightly insane. So that was just the latest. It's good stuff.
It's like having another baby.
Yeah, a little bit.
You've got to dog-proof they keep all the string off the floor now, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had to do this with my oldest daughter when she was little. She ate my wife's earring by accident. And, by accident. She reached over and found it on a table or something. She was like a year and a half old and then swallowed it. So she ate my wife's earring. And so we had to dig through her poop all afternoon to find the earring. And we found it. By the end of the day, we found it. Gone all the way through. There was her diamond earring. Burnt right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh. Yeah. It's better than a string, I can tell you that, when it's your kid. Also, a reminder to the fine folks listening, if you are a delivery driver and somebody puts water on your front porch for you to come by and grab, that water is not for, it's for drinking, Brian. They're meant to take it and drink it. We went outside after a bing bong. We heard a bing bong.
Sure.
And we thought, it's delivery guy or something. So we go up to the door.
You tested, are you trying again to get the grumpy guts with getting food delivery?
No. This was just a FedEx guy, like a UPS guy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. This wasn't another Zupa's / Popeyes order gone wrong.
Which I haven't even. Where did I tell that?
Oh, that's true.
Story?
We didn't even talk about that on here. It was It was Film Sack that affected.
Yeah. Did we talk about that?
Not on TMS. I mean, I don't think we even talked about it on Film Sack. We talked about it before Film Sack.
Oh, you know what we did? We told the story how I got the extra food on PM, but it hadn't caused its wreckage yet.
Right.
Yeah. So everybody who heard the story on TMS PM, which went out to everybody this week or this last week, about the two different orders and Zachary not getting his order. Apparently, Zachary's food had a tinge of the Grinch in there. And
Zachary dodged a bullet.
Yeah, Zachary dodged a bullet. I freaking the butts all night long. It was awful and morning. It was bad. So Zachary, wherever you are,
you're welcome.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like Clint Eastwood. I took a bullet for you on that movie he was in. All right.
Anyway, so you had a FedEx delivery guy.
FedEx guy comes to the door. Bing bong. Open the door, thinking he's already gone. And no, he's there. Kim, like I said, puts out this little basket, and there are wipes in the basket. There are a couple of treats, like Rice Krispie treats in packages there, and there's a couple of water bottles. We come out, and the guy's still standing there, and that's fine. But instead of using a wipe or something, he's got the water bottle, and he's opened the cap and he's pouring it on his hands, and then going like this with his hands, and then screwing the cap back onto the bottle like this is one of these.
Yeah.
Screws the cap back on, puts it back in the thing, says thanks, and walks out of there.
Puts it back in the basket?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
wrong.
I think he was very confused about how that's supposed to be done, because those are meant to be taken. You're supposed to drink them. It's water for you to drink.
I mean, I can understand, like, all right, he takes one, he drinks some of it, runs a little bit on his hands, wipes them off, whatever. He's worried about the last couple houses he's been to. Maybe they looked a little shady, whatever. But you don't put it. I mean, here's the part that freaks me out. He puts it back.
Yeah, he puts it back. And here's the favorite part of the story. And now Scott's drinking from that same bottle, right? No, I'm
Are
just
you
kidding.
really?
No,
Okay.
I'm
I
not.
was gonna say, I don't see that happening.
Hell
you get
no.
grossed out watching somebody else do that on a movie we watch for Film Psych. I can't imagine you doing it yourself.
Yeah, so it was a little weird, And the sign says, water for drinking. I think we even wrote it on there. I don't know what he was
if
thinking.
it's not on there, apparently you need to make it clearer.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little bit.
Don't wash your hands with the drinking water, man. That's all I'm saying.
But there's wipes. Like, it's obvious. It's like, oh, there's wipes and there's water. If there's wipes already, just use a wipe. Wipe your hands and then drink the water.
Maybe he thought the wipes were for pooping on the porch. Maybe he was really confused. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, good luck to him and stuff. You've had a few things going on over there with your neighbor.
It's been an interesting time. We've been doing weekly happy hours with the neighbors. And my buddy Chris Brown, who's not a neighbor but might as well be. Like, he joins us for the happy hours. He comes when things are normal, in the old normal, Scott.
Yeah.
He comes over every Friday and hangs out down here, and we have a couple drinks. And
he's not the Chris
whatever.
Brown that punched Rihanna in the eye, right? That's not the same
he
guy.
still isn't. Nope, still isn't the same guy.
All right, just making sure. Got to make sure.
This Chris Brown is a former coworker, worked with me at the newspaper sales software. He couldn't be in that video because he was the face of our company. So having him pretend to be a sales rep would just take people right out of the narrative that we were trying to give people about bad health and fitness section sales reps using your phone.
Sure.
But he's this time stuck at home has turned him into quite a ukulele aficionado. And he's been teaching himself, he can't read music, but he's been teaching himself a bunch of songs and even writing his own original songs. Like, he wrote one. He did a parody of Bad Moon Rising with called Corona on the Rise.
Oh, wow.
Which is really funny. But he's also been doing some original songs, one of which is a tune called Dancing in the Kitchen. Basically, you can't get out, you can't go anywhere, so you just put on some music and you dance in the kitchen.
Wow.
And for his video that at some point I'll link to when it's all finished, for his video, he wants to actually have a montage of people dancing in their kitchen to the song. And so Tina and I did a little, some swing stuff, and he's had his brothers and his sisters and their friends and his other friends do little videos, and he showed us kind of what he was working on. And Crazy Neighbors had not contributed yet.
Okay.
To this.
Will the end result of this be
montage.
like one of those big grid montages where,
No, it's more like it's going to be cuts from him playing his ukulele and singing the song to shots of people dancing in the kitchen, one right after another, but not one of the grid
Gotcha.
montage things you're talking about.
Right.
So the neighbors called me up, said, "Hey, could you come over and video us dancing in the kitchen?" I'm like, "Oh, sure, yeah, no problem." He says, "Just go on the other side of the fence, and that way we've got our distance going. Plus, we're going to be in the backyard." And I said, "Okay, but that's not dancing in the kitchen, which is, what Chris asked for. Did you get this cleared?" Basically, is what I said. "Did you get this approved by him?" He's like, "Yeah, we got it cleared." Okay, all right. So I go around to our backyard. We have or around the back, we have a greenbelt bike path that goes behind our house.
Okay.
And as I come around with my phone, I see what they're doing. They are in shorts and t-shirts, but then the rest full ski gear, hats, goggles, skis on their feet, boots, in the one tiny patch of snow that's still on their lawn after we've had all this warm weather, with a case of Corona beers between them and a beer in each hand, dancing to
Wow.
dancing to their
Wow.
music.
Wait, did you have to film this then? Did you do the
I
filming?
had to film this. So I did a couple dolly shots where I just kind of held it on them and walked down the path.
Mm-hmm.
I did a couple stationary shots.
Wow.
And
those guys.
Yeah, they're something.
They're the kind of wackadoo neighbors that you just have to love, though. They're great.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there are so many worse kinds of neighbors you can have that I wouldn't trade them for a thing. You know, they're the best.
Yeah, I gotta have them. Is he getting high on his own supply these days? Like, is he, you know?
He's not growing his own, if that's what you mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you never know. I mean, that's the other thing is people braving the dispensaries. I guess dispensaries are considered essential or whatever. So it's no big deal to go out and get you whatever you need or whatever. But I wondered if any of those got locked down and people had to, I don't know, make their own little.
The pot shops and liquor stores out here have been deemed essential. So people can still go out and get their recreational booze and pot.
Booze and pot.
Yep.
Pot and booze. Quite the combination.
That's right.
In
Exactly.
this day and age. All right. Well, that's all well and good. I like to hear that they're doing well and that they're as goofy as they've ever been.
They are this coronavirus has not slowed them down one bit.
Nope. Well, on that note, we're going to bring our good pal, friend, confidant, coworker, collaborator, life partner. There you go. Mr. Brian Dunaway on the line. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Brian.
We're going to do
Feels
this.
like we just talked yesterday.
It does feel like it.
I know, it's exhausting.
It is, isn't it? I mean, how do you even put up with it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God, these guys again?
Yep, them.
I'm just kidding. I would every day.
Mm-hmm.
We could hang out.
We could hang out every day, but could we do this? Maybe. We could play Battle Royale every day. That's what we're doing now. We're going to play a game where Brian Dunaway comes on the show, and we have a contest between he and I and see if a winner can, or a listener rather, can be a winner and go home with some cool stuff. Let's find out who we have on the line today. Hi, who's this?
Hey, it's Stephanie from Madison.
Well, hello, Stephanie from Madison.
Hey.
How are you? Wait, you're Spider-Man Stephanie, right?
She is.
Yeah, well, Spider Stephanie.
Gotcha.
You dropped the man part.
Madison, Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a lot of Madisons. Brian's laughing at me, but there's plenty
I
of
am
Madisons.
laughing at you. Name another Madison.
All right. Madison, Wisconsin is one. Madison, there's a Madison, Minnesota.
You're probably getting it.
No, there's one in Mississippi. Hold on. Maybe there's only the two. I don't know. There aren't very many.
There actually are. There are Madisons in Alabama, Arkansas, California, Connecticut,
Pick one,
Florida,
yeah.
Georgia, Illinois, Indiana,
Exactly.
Kansas, Maine, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Tennessee.
So what states are not in?
Yeah, it's easier to say that.
There's no
list.
Madison in Colorado, oddly enough.
Yeah. So you laughed at me, and there were 50 something of them.
Yeah. Would you have known really where all these?
No,
other
I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was laughing.
The majority of them I would not know. Anyway,
What is the capital?
yes. Hey, it's good to have you here. The reason I brought that up is Wisconsin is, boy, you guys are you're a polarizing state over there with all your politics. It's kind of a weird place. Are you faring okay in there with all the division?
Doing my best.
All right, good. And you got the cheese, and you got the Green Bay, and the Packers, and the whatnot. So you got everything you need.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
and all the Spider-Man you can eat. Let's play a game. Brian, will you explain to Stephanie how this works and what we could make her help win?
Words are something that Scott's not familiar with.
That's right. Not today.
That's right, Scott. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a topic. They're going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, Scott and I are drinking from the same well today.
Right.
The win will go to the other players. Stephanie from one of our country's fine Madisons. Your job is to predict who is going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you're playing for a couple games courtesy of Steam and Humble Bundle. First off, from Dwayne Coyle, we've got a copy of Steam Carnival Games VR. This will work with any of the aforementioned VR headsets out
Do
there.
you have VR?
I do not.
Does she
Stephanie?
have-
Nope,
You
no
do not.
VR.
Then we will replace that with something else. You'll also get a copy of Worms Revolution, courtesy
Oh,
of Mush
yeah.
Potatoes.
Oh,
That's
That
good.
game is a blast. Yeah.
yeah, it was really good. That's actually one of that particular version of that game is maybe my favorite of the series. It's very good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing's awesome.
Yeah.
But before we can even begin this game, I have to give them their topic. Their topic comes to us from Gabby Cohen. It's one I'm surprised we haven't done. When she sent it, I was under the belief that we'd already done this one. We had not. But from 1937 to 1990, Theodore Giesel, aka Dr. Seuss, released a
Dr.
ton of
Seuss.
books.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 20, 40. I'm going to say there are 40 items on this list.
Okay.
Something like that. I want you to name as many Dr. Seuss books as you can.
All right.
Dr. Susie books.
I feel okay about that.
How do you feel about it, Brian?
How do I feel about it?
How do you feel about
Well, me and Theodore, guys, we go back a long way. I feel okay about it, I suppose. Just mostly from what I remember as a child and what I remember when my kids read.
Good.
I've done a couple of deep dives, but I
Yeah.
feel okay.
Yeah.
I feel
All right.
okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you've heard from both of them, Stephanie. You've heard their different confidence levels. Who do you want to go first on this, and who do you think is going to win?
I will have Brian go first and Scott to win.
All right. I like
Okay.
those odds. Let's see how this
Let's
goes.
go.
All right, Brian. It's on you to start.
Fight. I'm going with. I'm going to go with the most, probably the most popular one, the Cat in the Hat, not the one with not the one with Austin Powers in it, but the book, Cat in the Hat.
Cat in
Or the one
Hat.
with didn't Jim? Oh no, never mind. I don't want to say anything more than that. Cat in the Hat, 1957 is when that one came out, and we are
Okay.
off to the races.
That's a popular one. Let's do Horton Hears a Who, another popular one.
Horton Hears
Horton.
a Who, 1954 is when Horton heard that. Who.
What'd you feel about that animated feature that came out?
I liked it. I
Horton.
thought Horton Hears a Who was good. I enjoyed it.
It was a hoot.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
I'm going to go with How the Grinch Stole the Christmasy.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 1957, also same year as Cat in the Hat. He was really on a roll that year. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's the one with Jim Carrey that I almost
There you go.
divulged.
I know.
Oh, geez. Let's do Green Eggs and Ham. I remember that.
There
That's
we
a
go.
good one.
Green Eggs and Ham,
Easy one.
1960. 1960. 1960.
This is the one is in a pile of books I have. It's
Okay.
not next to the bed, but it's over near the bed. It was one of the youngest kids.
Yeah.
It was Oh, the Places You Will Go.
Okay.
Oh, the Places You'll Go. Published in 1990, the last release from Dr. Seuss. And one that pretty much everybody gives to. If you've
Everybody.
graduated from high school or
Everybody.
college, you get this book from somebody.
Mm. Okay. I mean, he did a bunch of stuff in the wartime, and I always thought that was really cool. And some of it was super propagandy stuff, and I liked it.
I liked his adult things.
Yeah.
Did you ever get one of his little art books where he's got some of his adult drawings in
Yeah,
it?
that stuff's crazy. It's so weird to
crazy,
see
yeah.
it. All right.
That's hot.
Let's do one fish, two fish. Red.
Oh, see, you
Shush,
always think you
shush.
know that one.
Shush,
And
hold
then
on. I had it.
You got to say all the titles.
I know I had it. Hold on. One fish. Oh, shit. I have to do this one now. One fish, two fish.
That's right.
Red fish, blue fish.
There you go.
1960 also came out the same year as the Green Eggs and Ham. He was all into colors that year.
He was.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, that fish, this fish.
All the
We don't
fish.
Who's
want a
fish?
Yeah,
we asked for more fish.
Yeah,
And
everybody
we
wants
wouldn't bring us
fish.
any
Too
more
early to
The
get a
fish
fish.
said, so long and thanks for all the fish.
All of that.
I'm going to go
Is
with...
it too late for a red fish, blue fish sandwich?
I'm going to go with The Lorax with
The
Mr.
Lorax.
DeVito in
That's
the
another-
animated feature, I believe. Wasn't he the...
Yeah, I
He
think so.
remember was?
It was, yeah. The Lorax.
Yeah.
1971, the book came out. And yeah, there you go.
All right.
And
And I have nothing
there's
else to
the
say
answer.
about that.
Oh, man. We're in a weird place. Hold on a second. Wasn't there a? Wasn't the? Oh shit! I'm gonna get that wrong if I'm gonna say it wrong.
Green fish, blue fish.
No.
Fish.
I already did green eggs and ham, right?
Oh, you like the colored ones.
I'm not gonna tell you what you've done.
Yeah. Jeez. He's a tricky one.
Oh my gosh, am I out? I can't be out.
No, you're a tricky one like the Cat in the Hat.
Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of more of these?
Surely you read like a ton of these for the kids.
I mean, I did. We still have them around here.
Yeah.
I just can't. My brain is not working. All right, let me think.
You got this.
How long do I have?
You got this.
How long do I get?
I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds.
Okay.
1,000, 2,000.
One fish.
One fish. There you go.
Okay, I got it.
Wait, got it.
How Billy shouldn't have licked the toad that day. That's a bug.
No.
But it's funny how close you were to another one.
What, really?
Yes.
So I cannot.
There was one in 1969 called "I Can Lick 30 Tigers Today" and Other Stories.
Oh shit!
Oh, I don't remember that one.
The Joe Exotic story.
Right. I don't remember that one.
No.
I do.
What did you have in your back pocket?
I was already geared up for Hop on Pop.
Hop on Pop is a great one.
Right.
Box and Socks right around the same time. Here's the whole shebang. His very first one.
Yeah.
And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. The 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins. The King's Stilts. Horton Hatches the Egg. Miguel Got's Pool. Didwick, the Big-Hearted Moose. Bartholomew and the Oobleck. If I Ran the Zoo. Scrambled Egg Skipper. On Beyond Zebra. If I Ran the Circus. You're the Yertle the Turtle and Other Stories.
Yeah,
the Cat in the Hat comes back. Happy birthday to you.
I was trying to give that to Scott. I was like, Scott, there was
the Cat
a
in the Hat
second
comes
one.
back. Yeah.
I thought that was just an animated thing. I didn't know it was a thing.
Nope, it was a book too.
What about Go Dog Go?
Go Dog Go. No, that was one released under his. But the cover says something like Dr. Seuss presents Go Dog Go, but it's by somebody else.
Interesting.
The Sneetches and Other Stories. Dr. Seuss's Sleep Book. ABC. Fox and Socks. I had trouble getting to Sala Salu. The Cat in the Hat Songbook. The Foot Book. I Can Lick 30 Tigers.
The foot book. Really?
I remember the foot book. Wait, I could see the foot book. Is it?
I could lick 30 feet today.
This sounds like this Tarantino's favorite Dr. Seuss book is
That's
the foot
right.
book. Yeah.
My book about me. I can draw it myself. Mr. Brown can moo. Can you? Marvin K. Mooney, will you please go now? Did I ever tell you how lucky you are?
Of course, that one.
What do you mean, of course, that one? I never even heard of that one. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's a
totally
great
had that
one.
Marvin K.
Yeah.
Mooney, will you please go now?
No.
Great day for Up. There's a Walk It in my pocket. Oh, the Thinks You Can Think. I can read with my eyes shut. Oh, say, can you say? Hunches and Bunches, the Butter Battle Book, Your Only Old Ones, and I Am Not Going to Get Up Today from 1987.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
That one sounds autobiographical.
I know it's not a Dr. Seuss book, but that one book reminds
If it was
me.
his last book, it would have been hilarious,
Yeah,
right?
that would have been good. I'm not going to get up today.
I'm not going to get up today.
Well, damn it. Stephanie, I feel bad about this. It didn't go my way. And you picked, I think you picked well, but I just couldn't think of some of those obscure ones. How do you feel about your loss? Are you devastated?
I'm very devastated. I guess there might be a longer delay in that Mad Max drawing now.
Oh, man. I knew this was going to affect that if I lost. Well, all right. Here's the deal. You get to try again. You can always call back in, and we'll always take your call. And you're always available for more winnings. So congratulations for being here at all, and thank you for being here. Okay, she's gone. Hey,
Now when
Dunaway.
she finally draws it, both of your arms are going to be bionic.
That's right. You bastard, Dunaway. Here's the thing, though. I like Brian Dunaway enough to forgive him for his win and do the Boop Show with him this afternoon at 3:30 Mountain Time. If you'd like to come back to frogpants.tv and watch it, you can do that live, or you can check the podcast out later, wherever you get your podcast. We're going to talk about video games today. I have a couple of real winners to discuss.
Oh, winners.
Yeah. So that's later today. Video game discussion with me and Brian Dunaway.
And me and Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about video games. They're going to be about some weird puzzly game I played yesterday, and I'm going to have to find out if I can say it properly. It's Mutants and pasta of some sort, and I'm trying to get it right.
That sounds all right. Sounds
Mutant
like
pasta.
lunch. Yeah, mutant pasta. Anyway, check that out later. Brian is the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. Brian, have a fantastic afternoon.
Stay straight.
So, geez. All right.
Wow. Jeez.
That was a way to go.
We get told to stay hydrated. Now we get told to stay straight.
Stay straight.
That's a little. I don't know.
I think what he's saying is, straight and narrow. Like, follow the rules.
Oh. Okay. Good. Whew.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's what I'll think of what he
I
meant.
thought he was telling us not to
Be gay.
succumb to our truer instincts if we have them.
Yeah. Doesn't want us to be gay. That's not what he's saying.
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
All right. That's all good and well, but we have some time, and that time means we do this. Time for the daily news, brought to you by
2 weeks of Dusk Comics. We have a lot of fun for you over the next 2 weeks. The biggest of all is the Kickstarter for Dusk versus Cheerleader Karate School. That's right, Dusk versus Cheerleader Karate School. Check that out at tinyurl.com/smjdhfc. Also, we're doing costume contests in support of it. Go to tinyurl.com/SUZWBTA. Get a free physical copy of Demons in the Darkness. All you have to do is submit a video review in trade. Send your name and address to info@nerdanatics.com. That's NERDANATIX.com. And free indie digital comics still at tinyurl.com/RQJQNS9. Make sure to check out the ongoing webcomic at, you guessed it, tinyurl.com/ say it with me now, VEDFLR5.
There you go. Nailed it.
Good thing this is a podcast so people can pause, rewind.
Yeah, write all that down. Just jot that down, and you'll be all good. All right, Brian.
You can customize some of those tiny URLs and actually make them.
You sure can.
Real phrases.
Let this be a lesson to everyone listening. All right. So here's the deal. We're always on the lookout for the longest animal, right? Aren't you? I know I am.
I am. I totally am. A quest, if you will.
Yeah, I feel like it's just it's on my list every day to say, hey, where's the longest animal?
Sure.
Well, I think they found it. The longest animal ever discovered in a deep sea canyon off the Australian coast, because everything's weird in Australia. Explorers found 150-foot long, that's 45 meters for all you space unit people. A siphonophore. Siphonophore. I saw a G there for no reason.
Sing on the phone.
Sing the phone to bone. A translucent, stringy creature that, like coral, is made up of small critters. So it's like a big symbiote type thing.
I don't like this one bit.
Not a fan, are you, of this guy?
I'm not a fan. This looks like something that crawls into you, and like a ringworm kind of thing, right?
A little bit, yeah. It looks like it would crawl up there and stay up there.
Oh, I want to see. Do I want to see video? This is going to give me nightmares if I watch a video of this thing.
Oh, I didn't know you had an aversion to the stringy creatures.
I just don't like it. I always heard those nightmare stories about why you don't pee in the ocean. Mm-hmm. Is because some little worm creature is attracted to the warmth and zoop, right up your unit.
Yeah, right down the urethra every time.
Yeah, nope, not a fan. I'm kind of glad this thing doesn't squirm and move. Like, it's pretty stationary.
Yeah, it doesn't move a lot. Right now. Yeah, it's like coral in the sense that it's living, but it's it's not super.
Oh, diced tomato. I know that story is a myth, but it's still
once
gross. You get that visual in your head, once you have that thought, it's like
yeah, you don't want to get. I mean, people do get parasites in their open holes. You just do.
You just do.
Yeah, it may not be because the warm pee got
smelt
them
up
there.
The bum.
Yeah. I've told you about the friend I had in the early '90s that got a roach in his butt, and a little baby roach got in there while he was sleeping. I don't know if it was a baby; it was small. Yeah. And it got in there and laid an egg sack and set up shop, and the guy was sick for 6 months before they figured it out and got it out of there.
Ugh,
yeah,
geez.
Nasty.
I mean, how do you think earwigs got their their name? They crawl into your ear, and so do earworms.
Yeah, but
give you up anyway. But earwigs crawl into your ear and start messing around in your canals.
Your go-to earworm is Never gonna give you up.
Yes. Well, I could have done It's a Small World, I guess, or
Yeah. No, I like
Friday,
what you picked.
or
I like
Rebecca Black.
Yeah, I like what you picked. It's good.
Thanks.
Every single siphonophore is made up of little zoids, is what they call them. Except there's two O's in this, so it's maybe zooids. Anyway.
You don't say, Chris Brown. I called you Chris Brown.
You did call me Chris Brown.
I have the notes still up.
I mean, you're working with him.
I swear, I'm not drinking this morning. It sure feels like I'm drinking this morning, but
Brian's a little
I'm
tipsy.
trying to do a Zoidberg, and the notes were up with the Chris Brown.
Oh, that was Zoidberg? Wait.
That was Zoidberg.
Oh, okay. There I go. Yeah. That's not bad. It's all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are born asexually, and each one performs a function on this longer body. Anyway, it made it so this thing is 150 freaking feet. Although later it says they've already been known to reach up 130, but this is the longest it's ever been, and it does count as one solid long creature.
Even though it's made up of little zooids.
Yep. I don't even think there were dinosaurs this big, right? What's the longest dinosaur? Let's see. Longest dinosaur.
Probably like 50 feet or something.
I mean, I would say that. Dinosaur size. Here we go.
You go Patasaurus from tip of the head to tip of the tail, probably.
This says 20 biggest. Well, that's 100 tons. I want length, though. 10 tons. The one I found is all weight. I want length.
Yeah.
Largest dinosaur length.
The Seismosaurus, the tremor lizard, 84 feet.
All right. Well, that sounds like as big as you're going to get.
Length. Here we go. Length of the Seismosaurus, 150 feet.
Okay, so same as this thing then.
Same as this thing, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go then. You never knew. Oh, yeah, there it is. Look at that.
The Supersaurus, 100 feet.
Wow. Oh,
120 feet for the Argentina lizard, the Argentinosaurus.
The Argentinosaurus.
Argentinosaurus, and then they ran.
Yeah.
The Seismosaurus, the tremor lizard, the Supersaurus, the Ultrasaurus, 100 feet.
Yeah.
Really?
Is that the best they get to come up with, though?
The Argentinosaurus?
No, they call it the Ultrasaurus.
Oh, the Supersaurus and the Ultrasaurus. Yeah, exactly.
Come on. It's like Super Nintendo 90 stuff.
Apatosaurus, only 75 feet. The deceptive lizard is what the Apatosaurus's name comes from.
The deceptive lizard.
The deceptive lizard.
That was my stripper name for a while. Well, there's that.
Tyrant lizard.
So a little bit of nature for you guys. And also, it's nice to have a story that isn't about the coronavirus. But this next story is. And also, I'd like to preface it by saying this is probably misinformation. So I'm letting you know now that it's probably not enough information yet to say that this is true. However, I thought it was funny. So I'm going to share it. According to the Independent, coronavirus can be spread through farts.
Sure.
Right? So you can fart on a person. Boom. They got the coronavirus.
He who smelt it, spread it.
Spread it. There you go. Farts are unlikely to transmit the virus provided pants are worn. That's important to note.
That's right. It's just like wearing a mask. As long as you're wearing pants.
If you're wearing pants, you'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, it's what I'm saying is that not that it's not true. I'm saying the likelihood of somebody with the virus farting on you from 3 inches away without any pants on, it's an unlikely scenario, right? Anyway. No, you don't need to make masks. You don't need butt masks. You just need pants. That's it.
Pants are a mask for your butt. Oh, and look at that. Grunge du Terroir. Is that French? Said pants are a mask for your butt.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
As did Getter as a tool. Look at that.
Tests carried out have shown that the virus presents in the feces of more than half the patients of COVID-19. They said the research needs to be done to rule out the passing of the disease to people through omitting bodily gases. A doctor that raised the issue on social media highlighted work by Australian doctor Andy Tagg. My name is Andy Tagg. That's a cool name. Which he called an enjoyable thread about whether farting can cause coronavirus. In his findings, Tagg cited tests carried out earlier this year, which showed 55% of patients with SARS-CoV-2 had it present in their poo.
Like, that almost rhymes.
Yeah.
It's COVID-2. 55% of patients with SARS-CoV-2 had it present in their poo.
Dr. Seuss. Take
what
a
are you
bow.
gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I will not stand next to you in a subway. I will not smell your farts anyway.
It's Horton. Here's a poo.
Here's Horton smell the poo.
It's Horton smelled the poo. It says you can have it in there for 17 days. I mean, this makes sense. The food, it can't be foodborne because your bodily your stomach acid and stuff supposedly breaks it down. But I guess you can get traces in your schmoo. Doctors added previous tests have shown farts have the power to spray talcum powder long distances. I want to be in that study.
Yes, right. It's like one of those slow motion sneeze videos, right? It's
I want to be way back there and just kabam! Yeah, get it on some high speed video. Oh man,
right.
It says it was warned, however, that if the infected patient was not wearing pants and they released a large amount of gas, then someone else, if they took a close sniff at the gas, could be at risk. Okay, again, it's a little too much. Too many factors have to be in place for this to be a problem.
The first disease spread by Dutch oven.
The Dutch oven. It's the greatest invention in marital relations.
What's the before we get off of that story?
Yeah.
The next to last paragraph says if they, the close sniff of the gas could be at risk. There's a quote: "Perhaps SARS-CoV-2 can be spread through the power of parping. We need more evidence."
Parping?
Parping.
I think they meant farting, right?
Well, I just looked it up, and it's not an official term, but it is in the Urban Dictionary.
What is parping?
Parping is another term for farting.
Okay.
Farting around.
I've never heard that term in my life. I would have called that a typo, but if they have that in Urban Dictionary and it means farting, it's probably
but what I mean that's from the scientist Tag, right? This Tag dude.
Yeah.
Andy Tag.
Yeah, Andy Tag.
Australian doctor. Oh, maybe it's an Australian term for farting. Oh, yeah, he was papping. He's papping all over the place.
Yeah. Just that's what they do, mate. Is they parp.
It's not a pop.
That's exactly right. All right, final story. Now, a lot of you don't know this, but Brian and I are using, we use a weird hybrid here, but we're using Zoom today for video, not for audio, but for video. And so here's a great story about Zoom. Zoom uses Zoom to announce that Zoom is coming back again.
Nice.
If that doesn't make sense, I'll read on. A lot of people are talking about Zoom these days. It's the name of the video conferencing software that, I guess, thanks to the coronavirus, people have been using a lot. It was pretty obscure before this.
If you're unfamiliar.
Yeah, it was pretty obscure before this. Not a lot of people knew about it or used it, but it's suddenly become the thing, partly because Skype sucks and people quit using Skype. Anyway, for some of us, there was another Zoom when we were kids. And it was long before our video conferencing. It was a goofy public television show starring a regular cast member, not actor kids. A cast of regular non-actor kids that originally aired in the 70s and got a millennial boot in the 90s. It's why some of your colleagues...
Horizontal striped shirts all over the place.
And didn't this come on before it? Wasn't that part of that?
If it did, I don't recognize that as being the pre-Zoom lead-in. Because I remember it was Boston...
Oh, Boston logo.
Public Television.
That was it. Okay.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, boop, doot, doot, doot.
I'm going to find it. Yeah,
please do.
Boston Public theme song. Here we go. Of course, YouTube has it. All right.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Boston Public. Oh, no, this is Boston Public, the TV show. I don't want that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Boston. Oh, here it is.
Look
Full
for
intro for Zoom.
Zoom.
Here it is. Found
There
it.
we go.
Okay. See if we can get a little audio out of this here. Oh my gosh, this YouTuber is...
Those urban streetwise kids.
Oh, this is the reboot in the 90s.
Oh, there's a link that Third Illusion put in that I think is the original.
Is this the one?
But it's yeah.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but they didn't do the Boston.
No, they didn't have the pre.
That's all right. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the whole point here is, this is what happened. Turns out it isn't just the case for those let me skip that part. The people who starred on and made Zoom have, in the age of Zoom, happily found themselves returning to thoughts of Z-Mail, Cafe Zoom, and dancing around a soundstage to match striped shirts. Anyway, it says, I had daydreamed of a very meta Zoom reunion on Zoom, but the team had a better idea in the spirit of late-night talk shows. They're going to, that are going on even as production has stopped. This week and next, WGBH Boston, people we were talking about before, they did both iterations of Zoom. Will use its social media channels to share video segments where former Zoom cast members guide viewers through the same kind of science experiments and do-it-yourself activities that powered the old series. So if you want to get in there, you can get in there.
That's right.
Okay,
there you go. Dice Tomato just put up the WGBH Boston TV logo.
Yeah, here it is. Oh my gosh, I got to capture that.
Yeah, that takes me back, man.
Yeah,
you know what? That's a very zen. I don't know. That calms me hearing that.
Chills me out. Yep, I like it. Thank you for that. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, some time with major spoilers. I don't think there's anything going on with Daryl, and Daryl's sick.
No,
so
I got no email from Daryl.
He's not feeling well.
Daryl's got the crud.
He's got the crud.
We don't know if it's the crud. He's got a crud.
A crud, probably not the crud. So we'll get Steven in here though and talk about some comics are shipping, guys. Exciting. And then Monday mashup and all that. So stick around for that. Before that though, a song from Brian. Brian, what do you have?
Yes, this is something from New York City, a band called Wildlife. I want to say that we've played them before, but they have a brand new album that's coming out, or actually that's available right now. You spell Wildlife with a Y at the beginning, but you use
Michael, did you hear your father? Out of the water now! Now!
Maybe I ought to rope and drag you for a while.
The morning stream. That's a spicy meatball.
All right, we're back. I think you got that wrong. It's supposed to be, it's a spicy meatball.
Right, I think so.
And he said it's a spicy meat. No, here, let me hear it again.
A spicy. Yeah, he put the.
Let's see.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, it's not right. And therefore, perfect. Never change it. Never. All right. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Cool song. Liked it a lot.
Yeah, that again was Wildlife, and the song is Kiss and Tell.
It was very good.
Yes.
Kiss and Tell.
Kiss and Tell.
Yeah, you don't get in front of class, and that's show and tell.
You don't. You know, it's just not a gentlemanly thing to do, Scott.
Nope. Don't recommend it. All right. We got major spoilers coming right up. That is not to say we're having some spoilers coming up. We have Steven Schleicher from Major Spoilers coming up, just for clarification's sake. And this is his intro.
Steven.
I would like to join with Kadallar Ha and welcome Steven Schleicher to the program. Hello, Steven. How are you?
Oh, good. You know, just farting around today.
Yeah, farting around.
Yeah.
Don't be, just make sure you're wearing pants.
What?
Yeah.
Pants?
Yeah, pants. Yeah.
Pants in the time of COVID? Please.
Keeps you from spreading COVID via farts.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You don't want to spread those farts. You heard that story earlier, right? What do you think of that? What are your thoughts?
I feel bad for the roofers who were standing next to my bathroom vent last week.
Right. Oh, those roofers. I call them roofies, but then I get in trouble when I do that, when I call them roofies.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Steven's here from Majorspoilers.com and also from Hays, Kansas, the beautiful flat part of the country. And he's here to talk to us about stuff going on in the world of pop culture, comics, and more. And lately, a lot of our discussion has been around what is the comic book industry going to do in these weird times. And it's been a little bit of doom and gloom. Let's start with a little more gloom and then maybe some gleam, for lack of a better term. But the gloom is Comic-Con's canceled. We kind of saw it coming. We sort of figured this was going to happen, but it's official now. We're done, right?
They waited as long as they possibly could. I'm surprised they didn't announce this, weeks ago, but I think they were still holding out that maybe this would blow over as quickly as they could.
Yeah.
But I think the writing was on the wall in the last week. when California was like, yeah, we're not ready to open back up, even though there's an individual one who is claiming everything's going to be opened up on May 1st. And Comic-Con basically looked at South by Southwest, where South by Southwest said, hey, let's not kill all of Hollywood. I think San Diego Comic-Con is looking at, hey, let's not be the vector for the largest outbreak and deaths of half or more of the comic book industry by having 130,000 people gather jam-packed like sardines at the San Diego Comic Convention at the convention center.
You know what I think would be good? This is something I've just noticed lately, and I kind of wish it would go away, but there's a lot of shaming of conventions who have not yet announced their cancellation plans. And it's easy for people to say, what are you doing still saying you're going to do it, or, not canceling? You're putting people at risk. You're part of the I understand kind of sort of that thinking, but it's very simple-minded thinking, because as it turns out, and Stephen, you probably know this from attending a lot of these and knowing about the inner workings of these sorts of conventions, they're a massive undertaking, a huge undertaking. People get money and commitments and contracts all down the board. It's not just simply turn it off and on. There's not a switch to say Comic-Con is either on or off. It's so much stuff to keep in mind, to take into account, and everything else. And so you kind of need to hold on for as long as you can. And if you do need to make the right decision at the last minute or close to, a month, two before or whatever, they've been doing that. Everybody's been doing it. They've been canceling like they should be. But they wait until they know for sure, or the window looks like it's going to be for sure shutting things down, because otherwise you're just asking people for logistical and financial nightmares to happen.
Yeah, in the case of San Diego Comic-Con, it is a huge financial letdown for the city of San Diego, because according to reports, it is one of the busiest, most profitable times of the year for the city. So, of course, this is going to be millions of lost dollars. But at the same time, again, I go back to, you don't want to be, it would be better for Comic-Con International, the group that puts on both WonderCon, which has also been canceled, and the San Diego Comic-Con, to cancel the event rather than risk potential lawsuits going forward. So, yes, it's a huge financial burden for the organizers. It's a huge financial burden for the fans who have already shelled out money potentially for airline tickets and hotels and other spending. It's horrible for the city of San Diego, because the gas lamp district is full of people going there to eat and drink and have fun. So yeah, it's not something that has been taken lightly, and certainly there are certain contracts that need to be gone over just in case that in case of cancellations, you may still have to pay for a lot of things up front. So for Comic-Con International, it did take them a long time, but I think it was a wise choice. Now, there are San Diego Comic-Con has announced that they're just going to cancel this year. It'll be back next year. So if you already have tickets for this year's event, you can use them for next year, or you can get your money back if that's the way you want to go. Other conventions, like the Planet Comic-Con out of Kansas City, they canceled back in March, but they've already rescheduled everything for August. So they're kind of hoping that everything is back to normal come August time.
Yeah. Are they going to do you know if they'll do anything digital? Because a lot of these things are like, sorry, let me back up. On Tuesday last week, on the instance, we covered the BlizzCon letter that Sarah Lynn Smith, who's the executive producer of BlizzCon, put out. She put out a note basically saying they're not ready to announce cancellation, but they're mindful of all this and health is paramount. It was basically a note saying, don't be surprised if it cancels, basically what it says. My guess, though, is if they did, they would go hard digital, like a big, 3-day, maybe less, but, a bunch of digital presentations on stuff they're working on, things they're doing. If they were going to have a panel about how's Diablo 4 looking, they'll do some sort of digital stream of how Diablo 4 is doing. Will they do that sort of thing, do you think, with Comic-Con, or do you think this just is canceled and there's no...
I don't know if San Diego will put something on officially. The CCI, Comic-Con International, will do something officially. A lot of publishers have been doing some things, like Valiant did a virtual con. Zenoscope Entertainment has a virtual con, I believe, going on this week. And then a bunch of just writers and creatives have gotten together and done little Zoom things as well. So whether there is an officially branded San Diego Comic-Con virtual event, I don't know. Certainly, though, it's easy enough to scramble and get this stuff put together. For those of us who have been doing streaming events like the morning stream for years know that, yeah, there's some logistics and some coordination. You want to make sure your internet connection is up and running.
Right.
But then it's getting everyone on the other side to make sure that they are properly equipped to do the show. So I'm not saying it can't be done, but there needs to be some better logistics in organizing it if they're going to do it. And my guess is they're probably not. They may do a bunch of informal stuff. But I would say be on the lookout, because every publisher who had variants and merchandise and other stuff that was going to be released exclusively at the show, my guess is they're not going to wait a year to have those exclusives out. So be looking for online stores popping up for people to sell this merchandise. So you might still be able to get some San Diego Comic-Con merch without actually going to the show.
Yeah, and those artists that usually would be in Artist Alley and that sort of stuff, and those creators, there's a lot of those guys you can support now, and get their art that you were going to get. A lot of people budget for that when they go to these cons, so you can still support those guys, still get your stuff, and have this not be a complete wash. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
If I were to host a weekend virtual Nerdtacular, would you be willing to be involved in some panels? Sure. Okay. All right. There's a little hint for you, chat room. A little hint drop for you.
Wow.
I got some ideas.
We've got the high-speed internets here. We can do all that stuff.
I got some ideas.
Virtutacular.
Vertacular. Oh, wait. What?
Vertacular.
Oh, no. That's a terrible idea.
Virtual-tacular.
All right. In the world of good news, DC is shipping comics. What? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've said this. I think I started last week saying it on TMS, but I mentioned it on a bunch of shows that we do at the Major Spoilers podcast network, that it was going to be around the end of the month. Publishers were going to get anxious and start shipping comics again. And DC announced Friday that they would indeed be shipping physical comics again through alternate distributors. Now, this is the weird part of this story. This story is really weird because, first of all, originally Diamond said that they were not going to be able to ship new comics until probably August. Then they made an announcement Friday morning that said, oh, no, we're going to start shipping if we feel comfortable enough. This came after Individual One's, outlines that, hey, we're going to start shipping comics mid-May. But DC was like, hey, we told you guys back in March we were looking for alternative methods of shipping comics to comic book stores and customers. And that afternoon they said, yeah, we are going to, they're not, and a lot of people I think get this confused because I haven't seen anywhere where DC has completely canceled their contract with Diamond. They just basically said, we're going with alternate distribution means. So they're not releasing their full content of comics, but they are shipping comics beginning at the end of the month on the 28th, Tuesday, April 28th, will be New Comic Book Day for DC. They have a limited slate of comics going out. There are 3 new issues and 2 reprintings that are going out. And then over the next couple of weeks, they'll start increasing that through May 12th. Now, they are holding some comics back, like Batman number 92 and 93 that people have been waiting for. Those have been held back multiple times since the start of this. So we're still going to have to wait for that. In addition, we do know that the 2 distribution companies that are releasing these comics with DC are Lunar Distributors and USC Comic Distributors. And if you go and look, both of those were formed right at the first of the month. And so a little digging finds out that both of these distributors are indeed Midtown Comics and DCB Service. DCB Service has been doing mail order comics for years now, probably around the same time that Major Spoilers got started as a website.
Oh, geez.
They were doing mail order stuff to people that didn't have a comic shop near them. So they're a very large distributor. Midtown Comics is a super large comic store that has been, my understanding, has been dealing with DC's subscription service for years. So if you're someone that actually subscribed to the mail order DC Comics, it was Midtown Comics that was fulfilling that. So looks like they're just saying, hey, we're not casting Diamond out completely. We just want to get comic books out to comic book fans and to bookstores that are still open. Granted, 80% plus of the comic book stores in the United States are still closed. Some are doing mail from the store. Some are still doing curbside pickup. But the selection is small, but DC is at least trying.
Yeah. That's good. And also, there's no reason why they can't go around Diamond. I mean, unless they have some exclusivity thing that's like locked in, right?
This, and nobody knows what the contracts are like, but there is, Act of God, and they, DC, I think, and maybe Marvel. I'm sure we're going to find out this week what Marvel's plans are. But I'm sure there is also breach of contract where DC is ready to ship comics, but Diamond says, no, we're not going to ship comics. So therefore, DC could say, well, you're in breach of our contract to get these comics out in time. So now we can go around and do these other things. Not a legal expert, and I don't know what these contracts say, but that is my guess. Diamond then responded in the afternoon that says, hey, we value our partnership with DC. We're going to continue to support them as a distributor. But right now we want to make sure that it's safe to distribute comics. So even Diamond, who seems a little shocked by the statement, has said this doesn't mean that we're not working with DC. It does start to show cracks in the dam of the Diamond comic distributors monopoly, in that if Marvel decides to go with these two new distributors, or if others decide to break with Diamond, then we could see the whole monopoly tumble. Now, in addition to that, just announced yesterday or last night, I got the email, Alterna Comics, which is a small publisher, they basically said, no, we're through with Diamond. We're not going to be working with Diamond ever again. We're going to ship directly from our own website and our own distribution outlets. So, yeah. So you might think, again, that this is good news for everyone, but comic shops just never seem to be happy about anything.
No.
And there's a huge backlash between some of the more vocal comic book distributors in the nation about, oh, what a crappy offering DC has got going on with these books, and we're closed. How does this help us? And blah, 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 blah. So even when DC tries to do something right and tries to get the industry started again, as far as physical comics go, comic shops just aren't happy with it.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, I guess so. But why are they? I don't like this, because what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just bail? Are they supposed to just send you all their DC money and say, "Here, live on this until"? Like, I don't know. That's weird. It's a weird thing to expect from DC. Like, DC's doing what they can. That's literally all they can do.
Yeah.
What else can they do?
Comics.
They keep making comics and shipping them, and they're physical and they're printed. What else can they do?
I think the biggest complaint is there's two big complaints that I've seen. That the profit margin is super slim now. There used to be a bigger profit margin before with Diamond, but now because they're going through this alternate means, DC is taking a larger part of that, and so the margin to make money off of an individual sale tends to go down. That's their biggest complaint. Their other biggest complaint is Midtown Comics and DCB Service. Again, these are being under two different names, Lunar Distributors and UCS Comic Distributors. I think there's a reason why they did that, because many comic book stores consider DCBS and Midtown competitors, and now they have to pay their competitors to get comics from DC, and then they have that lower profit margin. So yeah, there's a lot of anger from the brick and mortars, who are already upset and angry over the last couple of months because of whining. That's all they do. And the idea that maybe digital comics are going to surpass them in some way, shape, or form, which they're not. So it's a crazy time. I suspect this week we will find out what Marvel will do.
I was just going to ask you about them, because it's been quiet on the Marvel front on comics anyway.
Yeah, they've been very, very quiet. So it will not surprise me if DC is the first one to say, hey, we're going to start shipping comics in April, and here's who we're going with. I'm sure Marvel is already sniffing around those same two distribution companies and saying, hey, can you do our comics as well?
Hey, that reminds me. Sorry, side note. Are there any Marvel or DC characters whose superpower is super smell? Has that ever been a thing?
There had to be somebody in the Justice League.
I'm sure there's somebody that has super smell.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I mean, Wolverine kind of has those heightened senses, so smell would be one of his.
That's true. Oh, Wolfsbane, they're saying?
Wolfsbane, sure.
Saber? Yeah. Really?
Any of the feral superheroes. But was there was a guy, a matter eater lad could just eat anything. There had to be somebody who could smell anything.
The schnoz. Yeah. Dead Polymer says the schnoz. Okay.
The schnoz.
Yeah, the schnoz. Excellent. Okay, well, I was just curious. It's a sort of thing that I never really thought about before. And I guess Wolverine counts, but it's not his main power, right? His main power is that he can heal. He's got claws. Right. He's full of metal. He's got all the physical stuff. Like, which one is there a hero where all they do is have super sensitive?
Their only power is,
I can see he's in the group. They've all got their powers to like destroy things and kill people or whatever. And the one guy just in like a shirt is sitting there going, I can smell it. And then everyone kicks into gear and they go for it. Like, does that guy exist? Maybe. Maybe not.
Not to my knowledge.
Well, there's opportunity there. Then is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stephen, it's
I
always
think
good.
actually super heightened smell would probably be the worst superpower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not a
kind of
great
would be.
one.
Right.
It's not a great one.
All right, we need you to go find those bank robbers. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
God. Okay, found one of them. He's
Yeah.
around the corner.
My wife kind of has super smell ability. She can smell anything from anywhere. Like yesterday, I was walking upstairs. She goes, "I smell cigars." I said, "I don't smell. What do you mean you smell cigars? It's so strong." I'm like sniffing around. I don't smell a cigar, honey. She goes, "I swear someone's smoking it." So I was like, I'm going to prove her wrong. I went outside. I had to walk half a block, and yep, sure enough, dude on his porch smoking a cigar. Wow. She was smelling it all the way from over there. So she's weird. Hearing too. She can hear anything. Any little squeak, dog whistles. She hears it all.
She's hearing you talking about it right now.
Right now, she probably hears it.
My ear's burning.
Make me a roast beef sandwich. All right. Anyway, I almost called you Daryl. I'm not doing that. Hey, Stephen, it's good to have you on and talk about these issues and this stuff. Is there anything on the site, majorspoilers.com, people should be looking for this week?
Well, again, we've got another series of So You Want to Get Into Comics that's popping up today. Today, it's the Classic Film Edition. If you're a classic film lover, Jonathan has a couple of recommendations for comics that kind of fit that vein of classic films that you might want to check out.
Oh.
So you can find that over at majorspoilers.com.
That sounds great. Go check it out today. Follow him on Twitter at Major Spoilers. Stephen, it is always our pleasure to have you here. And it is our pleasure. It's ours. Yeah. The pleasure is ours to have you here. Have a fantastic week. Stay hydrated like you always tell us.
Wear pants and don't fart.
And don't fart.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Well, geez, so many rules with them.
You know, he's like another parent in our lives. Jeez.
It really is. You and I are basically having all of the bad side effects that go with 420 without having the fun stuff that causes 420.
Without the high of it.
That's right. We can't talk. I'm calling you Chris Brown. You're calling him Daryl.
I know. What's going on today? What's wrong with us? We're just a bunch of shitheads.
Watch your profanity.
Oh, sorry. I'll try not to.
Jeez. Well, that was quick.
Yeah, I'll try not to. Okay. Let's do a mashup. Jamie sent us a mashup, and it's a quality mashup. Mm-hmm. I actually don't know because I haven't heard it yet, but I assume it's very good.
We know it's always quality.
Yeah, these are almost always good. It's called Do It Slowly.
Oh, God. Okay.
Let's find out what that means right now. Hey, Larry, did you read the paper? I think they found your foot.
Larry, what's the matter with you? Larry, what's the matter with you?
Is there any event is there any event? I had it right the first time.
You got to put the Jello pudding pops in the refrigerator and put the little roofies in the little tips of the pudding pops and then soak them in the Coca-Cola.
That creeped right up my urethra, man. That was
right.
I've been working on these pin particles for a while, and I think I can actually get to the microverse with these things.
5G causes gay frogs to get the coronavirus. Duh.
Almost like an endoscopy.
Bum scope
camera.
Some people tip by licking you up the side of the face.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Lick them right up the side of the face. Just tongue from neck to ear. Just lick them
How
right
do I
up
get
the
one
side
of those jobs?
Well,
save the milk.
Save the milk tower.
Save the milk.
The woman arrived at Louis Armstrong International Airport. What a wonderful. Oh, did I say Louis? I meant Louis. I meant Louis. I knew it was Louis. You know, Louis Armstrong.
What a wonderful kiss to build a dream on. Everything just heat up on stove.
Heat up on stove, and then you go. Y'all want to just put it in your armpit and heat it up after a day or so. Y'all want to
One hot dog. I got 3 of them cooking right now in my pit.
I got one in this pit, one in this pit, and a third one down in my crotch. Y'all want a crotch dog?
Crotch dog.
Pray with us on our battle beads. I want to change that to anal beads. Anal beads. Grab your anal beads roughly and pull them from your anus.
If you do it slowly, you'll achieve more pleasure than if you were to pull them out quickly. Don't pull them out 4 at a time because, as we know, 4 is a number of the leopard.
We should probably do a third eagle check. Do you want
Right?
Let's just see real quick. Third eagle. What is he doing this morning? Probably just bullshit. Let's see. Okay, today's is pray for Trump's fight against the virus.
Okay.
Yesterday was pray rosary for Divine Mercy Sunday.
Oh yeah, Divine Mercy Sunday, sure.
He did a more conspiratorial one 2 days ago. Will Donald Trump's Isaiah 45 train be derailed?
I don't know that.
I don't know what that means either.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for those who flee in the field. Pray for the women in the desert. All right, well.
I assume these are all phrases, right? Like those who flee the field and the woman in the desert.
Yep, I think you're right. His number one popular one was watch now before YouTube blocks this video. That was his most popular.
Almost 1 million views, 832,000 views.
Yeah.
So
World
it works.
War III.
Watch this before it gets blocked.
Yep. Next false flag hidden in iPad commercial that got 500,000.
Yeah.
See, those are where you get the big money. This other stuff from 3 days ago, 509 views, 440.
Exactly.
Dude, TMS gets more views than you do, and we don't even really push it on YouTube.
Right.
All right.
That's because we don't pray for Trump's fight against the virus.
That's right.
The silent killer.
I'd known about it since November. All right. Here's just a quick PSA coming up in, let's see. I got to look at the calendar. We got our play date coming up. Is that next week or this week? Hold on.
Actually, it would be this week, a Friday or Saturday, the 24th or the 25th. What did we do last time? We did a
Friday.
We did a Friday.
Did
yeah.
we? Did we?
Yeah, we did a Friday because it.
So if y'all want to do Saturday this week, we could do that. You want to do that?
Be the 25th. Actually, I cannot because we're doing online Mansions of Madness.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
We're doing a play date, but just not with you.
You should stream that. That sounds like fun.
Well, we're learning how to make everything work first, and then once we get that, then we'll stream it. So maybe we do. See, the other deal is going all the way to May 2nd. If we want to do another Saturday, if we want to do a Friday, we could replace the 24th.
I don't care if it's the second. I think that's fine. It's not really a short month. It's just weird how the weekend lands.
Yeah.
So
May 2nd?
Let's do the second. Yeah, Saturday, May 2nd. So we're gonna do another play date. We're gonna play games, Jackbox games, maybe other stuff. Who knows? But we'll play with you, play with our friends, play with patrons. That will be in place that week.
We won't play with as ourselves.
Exactly true. That means this week, TMS PM for you Patreon folks will still happen on Friday. That's 3:30 Mountain Time, but only you'll get to see it because you supported us at patreon.com/TMS. Please do that if you'd like to get in there. And again, everybody who's in there, no matter what level you're at, even if it's only $1 a month, you get access to that 5th episode. So head on over to patreon.com/TMS and get the details. If you're looking for anything else, frogpants.com/TMS. And I forgot to mention earlier, I'll say it now, there's a brand new Fred and Can up today. If you want to find out what Fred and Can are like when they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, today's the day to find that out. And of course, Can is the DM.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Because
he can fit more easily behind that wall, that cardboard wall, whatever they call it.
That's right. What is that called? The DM board screen? I don't know what they call that. Why do I not know that?
I'm going to be playing D&D Saturday night. Like the Saturday is all, it's like film sec, and then it's like Mansions of Madness and D&D, playing with Tanner and Tristan and the folks. Lots of people.
Nice. That's very cool. Lots
of people, great people.
Are you just starting the campaign, or is this an ongoing one?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
They started doing some stuff this last Saturday. We couldn't join them because we had other things going on, but
that's great.
We're jumping in on it Saturday, and I haven't played D&D since really like the 80s.
Yeah, that was for me. It was pretty heavy in the 80s, then a big chunk of time. Then I played once in the mid to late 90s, and then that was it. Mm-hmm. And then this campaign we started in 2017. Then it started over, and now
that's so cool.
I love it. It's so much fun. I'm excited for you. That'll be great.
Awesome.
Do you have your class? If you get your class all figured out, you know where you're going to be.
I'm a fighter, like a level 2 fighter or something.
Ooh, they're bringing you in at level 2. Nice.
Actually, I think they've got me level 1, but I need to go on to roll 20 and level up before I can join them as a human fighter. Is what they've got me earmarked on.
I don't know if you knew this, but if my character Nash Magard of the Solar Mines ever dies, I have a backup character who is also a fighter, who no one knows about yet, but his name is Hack Lohman, And he's a badass. I even drew a picture of him already. I'm so ready.
Really?
It's not that I want I don't want Nash to die. I just want to be ready the minute he dies. If he dies, I just want to be ready to go for it with the new guy. Just be set to
Zach
go.
Loman.
Yep.
Diary of a Fighter.
That's right. All right. I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you all for being here.
All right, bye.
Yeah,
See
bye.
you.
Bye, everybody. Oh,
Bye,
wait. We
bye,
have to do
bye.
a song. I forgot. We have to do it. I know.
That's
I
right.
know.
It's one box.